What I wanted to make this particular video about is how to survive next 4 years. Hey, today is 25th of January 2025 and I wanted to come here to my favorite spot, talk about a few topics really today. What I wanted to make this particular video about is how to survive next 4 years. And I understand it might be slightly weird coming from a person living right now in dictatorship Belarus. In fact, tomorrow, we will have on 26th of January 2025 elections, right? I, a living person, I consider myself sort of reasonable person. I'm always, or was almost always, very center, slightly leaning to the left, very much anti-authoritarian. I don't have any rights anymore. Never really had, because like I've said in the previous video, by the time I was able to vote, this country was already a dictatorship in a dumpster already. And so when I'm seeing how America is going really rapidly down the fucking drain, how authoritarianism, how sliding into fascism is going in America, I feel really concerned, because once again, America always to me represented this sort of ideal of this amazing country that, I mean, a lot of it is just propaganda, let's be real, but at least the idea of it is quite a good one, that everybody can make it, and it's like a sort of free market of ideas, and you know, you can actually succeed, and you're protected by law, like your freedoms and everything, like especially your freedom of expression, freedom of speech. Because here in Belarus, if I even wear red, white sort of shirt, or like I have a fucking little sticker on my bag, I can be jailed and then fined. So there's that. And so when I'm seeing how this like slide into authoritarianism is going in the United States, I feel really disheartened and saddened that none of the nations are really above like this particular thing sliding into authoritarianism. None of the people, even sort of smart people, are kind of shielded from it. No, unfortunately not. And it worries me, because, well, yeah, because nobody's safe essentially, no country is safe essentially, and it all can happen quite quickly really, and quite easily, and that's unfortunate. What can I say? That's really unfortunate. It's not that I should even care about whatever like United States is doing or shit like that, but unfortunately whatever Trump and his cronies will be doing in the next years will affect the whole world, because United States is such a big country and such a massive and powerful country, that yeah, it will affect all of us, unfortunately, in one way or another, in this particular 4 years, or in the next one, in the next decades, whatever it might be. The thing I wanted to talk about really is the fact that they will use these tactics that they've used before, and that Russia is using, and that Putin is using essentially. They will create distractions, they will create outrage, they will create essentially a lot of noise. This is what they do. And by they, I mean pieces of shit, dictators, wannabe authoritarians, and that kind of assortment of folks, which Trump absolutely is, and all of his cronies, even those tech billionaires and things like that, they are all like that. And they already, you can already see that they're doing this. They are creating so much noise that people have no ability to respond to it. They're creating so much stir, they're creating so much sort of just shit, that people are constantly outraged. And lest you forgot, this is exactly what was happening, precisely what was happening in the first term of Trump. So here's my proposal, okay? Here's my proposal. Do not engage too much, at least, with comments online, because a lot of people will be posting a lot of stuff that Trump is doing. There will be a lot of outrage in this next 4 years. It's already happening. Trump and his cronies and his buddies, billionaires that actually feed you the algorithms, that feed you the news, whatever, right? Zuckerbergs, your fucking Amazons, Bezos, fucking Musks of the world, and so on and so forth. They will create outrage. This is exactly what authoritarians are doing. This is exactly what Putin was doing in Russia and still are doing. They will be spreading a shit ton of propaganda, disinformation, misinformation, anti-Western propaganda, anti-United States propaganda. They will be pitting you against each other. People, it's never left versus right. It is always those who want to rule you and those who are oppressed. This is the power dynamic. It's not this power, it's not left right. It is those who rule and those who are being oppressed. This is the power dynamic. And we include in those who want to rule you, billionaires as well. I literally wrote a song about it. People who oppress you and want to rule you are not your friends. I want people to understand this because it is crucial. It is really crucial. It is really important to get this part. And so, because they will be pitting you against each other, do not engage with this. Think about this. Like, especially if this video somehow will find sort of right-leaning people, or maybe those who voted for Trump, just realize that you have more in common with a regular sort of middle or like lower class folks than with the billionaire. Even if those folks are kind of leaning left and you're leaning right, you have more in common than with a billionaire who never fucking struggled in his entire life and who doesn't give a fuck about you. So my proposal is as follows: do not engage with social media that much, because it will just create this outrage within you, and even the people who will be making the news, who will be talking about Trump and everything that he's done and things like that, they are making money off of it. They are political commentators, they have their political channels, they have big sort of social media presence. You just engaging with the comments doesn't do anything, because when you are outraged, it's draining your energy severely, and it's happening very quickly. And also, because you release this outrage, right? Not only it doesn't do anything to actually stop them, it kind of gives you this little catharsis, like even momentary, that just sort of releases some energy from you, and you feel like if you wrote something online, it means that you've done something, which is a lie. What you've done is just engaged more with fucking Zuckerberg's platform, because a lot of people luckily left Twitter, or at least like trying to not engage there with anything, because it's just a absolute fucking cesspool of Russian propaganda, Russian bots, anti-Western propaganda, once again made by Russia. Unless you didn't know that, like, it's a legit fucking thing. Switch from fucking Twitter, like maybe to Blue Sky, Mastodon, companies that do not collect data about you and do not sort of sell your information. And then what's even more important, peak, this is my whole point essentially. Pick for yourself, wherever your interests are. Pick for yourself one or two fields, one or two sort of topics, political topics, that you in particular are passionate about, that you care for, that you care about, and that you want to either preserve or change. And focus your energy on that, whatever it might be, right? You like animals and they're destroying sort of some funding for shelters or something like that. Fight for that. Fight to preserve it. Write to your representatives. Try to essentially engage with real politics, and real politics is happening in real life. Whatever is going online, this is just a distraction. And Trump, we've seen it in his first term. He will be enriching his own family, himself, and all his cronies, all his sort of all his tech billionaire buddies. He will be doing that. We know it because it already happened before. They have shown you their cards, right? You know what's happening. Like, they literally wrote this like fucking Project 2025 whatever thing, right? Just go read it. They will be trying to destroy your institutions. They will be trying to essentially eliminate many sort of programs that helped underprivileged people. They will be trying to destroy like whatever social programs that you still might have. So if you pick for the next 4 years, 1 or 2, don't pick a lot of things, even if you might be interested in a lot of things, because your energy is of a finite quality or quantity rather, and you will burn out. But if you pick like 1 or 2 things that, okay, like this is my thing, and you will work on that, literally work on, like, if they're like doing something that will be destroying your neighborhood or something like that, literally like create some like flyers, posters, print them, and go and sort of try to rally your own folks essentially who live around you to engage with it like in real life. Because once again, social media, what are they designed to do when they are sort of working in conjunction with this like fucking wannabe authoritarian, wannabe a fucking dictator who Trump is? Nobody says when they have 2 terms in the constitution, nobody says, I might run for the 3rd time. Nobody, besides fucking Putin, besides fucking Lukashenko, pieces of shit like that, real dictators do that. I'm telling you, living in a fucking dictatorship Belarus. So take it fucking seriously. Take it fucking seriously. Because it is a fucking serious shit. USA can really fucking quickly nosedive into fucking fascism and authoritarianism state, which it is already going to. It is already going in that direction. Wake the fuck up. Pick your topic, pick your couple topics that you are passionate about, that you want to preserve or want to sort of boost or whatever it might be, and work on that in real life. Do not waste your energy even on commenting shit, because it's been less than a week. We know what's coming. It is already fucking here. It is all here because it's been the same for the first term of Trump. He was just stirring shit everywhere, and while you're reacting to the yesterday's thing, they've already created something new, some new outrage. But in the meantime, what's happening on the background is what's important. Because on the background, they're fucking enriching themselves, they're stealing money, they're destroying like real democratic institutions in America. This is what's happening on the background, and this is what's important. The fucking front, this whole outrage, this whole millions of fucking executive orders and shit like that, this is a facade. You need to understand this, people. You have to understand this. If you don't get it right now, on like a fucking week 1, it will be a real fucking bloodbath, and it will be a real shit show for the next 4 years. But if you will listen to this little advice, once again, from a person who is living in a dictatorship Belarus, my vote doesn't count. I can be literally jailed for even calling this state a dictatorship and a dictator a piece of shit, because he changed the constitution to literally say that I cannot offend him. I cannot offend the office. I cannot offend the president. I cannot offend the president. Just think about what you right now still have with your freedom of speech First Amendment. Because let me tell you, it wasn't like that here all the time. But by the time I was able to vote, it kind of was like that. And after 2020 elections, they've changed the constitution to this kind of bullshit that you cannot offend the president, or else you will be jailed. Things can change quickly when authoritarians are in power. That's sort of my whole point, I guess, that I wanted to make about this time around. Once again, take it from a person who is unfortunate to live in a fucking dictatorship state. How, like, it's hard even to explain how fucking bad it is. That the whole world essentially, like the good countries, are looking at you and treating you like a piece of shit scumbag, even though again, I have more in common with like a, I don't know, left-leaning or like center-leaning sort of European or American than with this particular place, with this dictatorship. And as you can see, I'm speaking in a pretty alright English as well. So it's not like I'm a fucking complete like fucking troglodyte who doesn't understand anything about the world. And yet, here, where I am, where I stand, my vote doesn't count. I do not count. And in fact, I can be literally jailed for saying all of what I'm saying. So, take it or leave it. I had to say it because I think it is really important. I think it is truly important, and like I'm saying, pick whatever your interests are, one or two things. Maybe it's helping people, maybe it's caring for elder folks, maybe it's caring for homeless people, for, again, underprivileged, maybe it is about animals, maybe it is something else. Just pick your stuff and work on it in real life. And then make videos about what you're doing in real life, how you're trying to save the country, how you're trying to help people and things like that. And that will attract more people. Because if you're just reacting, if you're just commenting to somebody else's outrage about Trump, you're essentially playing into what Trump wants. Trump and all of his buddies, all of his cronies, all of his pieces of shit, garbage people who are around him. They all want you to be constantly outraged because it drains your energy, and then you cannot do anything in real life to stop them, to prevent them from destroying the country. That's it. That's it for this video. Once again, Atoms of Stardust is not a political channel, but I cannot stay silent about this, what I'm seeing, because art and people are interconnected. No fucking AI will ever replace us. And as people, we deeply feel, or at least we definitely should deeply feel, about politics and about what's happening in real life and all that kind of stuff, because it all affects our lives, and then in return it affects our art. And in fact, I will now record the next video about art, artists, and what they should do, given the circumstances that kind of people found themselves in. So, once again, subscribe to Atoms of Stardust channel, like the video, share it with others if you feel like I've said something valuable. And yeah, see you next one. Take care.